Welcome to Universe Beyond. I am the guide for this infinite journey. Tonight, we delve into the unseen stories woven into the very fabric of time and space. We begin with a whisper that outlived its source, a recorded residue of motion and meaning that persists long after the actors have vanished. Imagine a catalog of sounds not preserved in wood or silicon but imprinted in the geometry of the cosmos itself. Photons carry echoes, but they are easily scattered and reddened into silence by expanding space. Yet the universe stores memory in subtler registers, in the phase of gravitational waves, in the faint background of neutrinos, in the pattern of anisotropies written across the cosmic microwave background. These relics are not speech in any conventional sense, but they are records of events that once unfolded with theatrical intensity. A collapsing star, the ragged breath of merging black holes, the last storms of ionized gases around a dying galaxy, each leaves a fingerprint upon the substrate of reality. What remains when entropy has done its work and the actors are no longer capable of motion? We call these remnants archives, though the metaphor is imperfect, for the archive is diffuse and smeared across epochs. In the late stages of cosmic evolution, energy gradients flatten, and the familiar engines of change grow faint. Stars exhaust their fuel, and black holes either persist as slow, cold wells or evaporate through quantum processes that take longer than many conceptions of time. Between these slow processes, information may slip into forms we struggle to sense, encoded in correlations between particles and fields. Consider a voice transduced into modulations of neutrino flux, a theoretical encoding that could penetrate clouds of matter and travel nearly unimpeded across cosmological distances. Neutrinos are ghostly messengers, barely interacting, but they remember the energies and directions that birthed them. Or imagine meaning carried by the phase coherence of gravitational waves, subtle undulations in spacetime that encode relative timing and rhythm. A recorded psi might survive as a phase offset, a minute delay embedded within a wash of spacetime curvature. To translate these imprints into audible form requires improbable instruments and patient inference, a reverse archaeology of causality. We reconstruct by asking what event could have caused this pattern, and then we map that cause into a narrative that our ears can comprehend. This mapping is a bridge between rigorous physics and the human hunger for story, and it is here that poetry and science meet. The recordings we imagine are partial and degraded, like parchment eaten at the edges by cosmic rays. Fragments of melody appear as statistical anomalies in the background, motifs of ordered fluctuation against a sea of randomness. Sometimes what we label as an utterance is merely the resonance of a process, magnetic reconnection snapping across a coronal arch, or an accretion disk coughing as it sheds angular momentum. Other times the trace is more intimate, a collective murmur of civilizations that once pondered their place beneath many suns. If intelligence arose and then faded, its inscriptions might be imprinted not as clear sentences but as persistent deviations from natural expectation. We must beware of anthropomorphism, of reading grammar where there is only pattern, yet we must also remain open to the possibility that meaning can take exotic physical forms. The instruments that listen are not microphones but detectors of statistical asymmetry, telescopes tuned to rare correlations. They decipher signal from noise by constructing models that trace causal lineage across cosmic time. This is an act of inference that looks like archaeology and feels like translation. When we assemble a fragmentary transmission into a semblance of language, what ethical stance should we take toward that voice? Is reconstructing the utterances of vanished minds an act of stewardship or an imposition of our interpretive hunger? The question itself refracts the deeper mystery: what responsibility do the living bear toward the testimony of the dead, even when that testimony is encoded in the physics of the universe? As the cosmos cools and approaches thermodynamic equilibrium, the remaining recorders become subtle and long-lived. Black hole event horizons store information in ways that challenge our intuition, prompting deep questions about unitarity and loss. Hawking radiation suggests a slow leakage of captured correlations back into the universe, a faint release of encoded patterns across epochs. If we listen at the right frequencies and with sufficient patience, might those patterns betray something like syntax, a ghostly grammar of past events? Patience is immense in cosmology, but so too is creativity when imagining recoverable voices. We do not claim certainty, only a method: find persistent anomalies, propose causal histories, test those histories against physics, and render the surviving structure as narrative. In doing so we turn equations into elegies and datasets into lamentations of what was once luminous and now is memory. The most haunting recordings are not proclamations but small residues, a childlike count of stars, a fragment of a song, a schematic of a lost harbor. They arrive to us through filters of time and language, arriving as probabilities rather than certainties. Yet even probability can convey effect, and even a statistical anomaly can suggest a private sorrow. To listen to these remnants is to come face to face with the universe as both archive and epitaph. We close this night not with answers carved in stone but with the humility to hear possibility where once there was noise. Thank you for watching Universe Beyond. Please subscribe to our channel and give us a like.